Dallas, Texas, a city of the future located in the Lone Star State. Its vibrant vibe is found in the city's atmosphere as well as its people. Come join me as we visit the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex located in North Texas. This is Travel Step by Step. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free. Dallas and nearby Fort Worth were initially developed due to the construction of major railroad lines through the area, allowing access to cotton, cattle, and later oil in North and East Texas. The construction of the interstate highway system reinforced Dallas's prominence as a transportation hub, with 4 major interstate highways converging in the city and a 5th interstate loop around it. Dallas then developed as a strong industrial and financial center and a major inland port due to the convergence of major railroad lines, interstate highways, and the construction of the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, one of the largest and busiest airports in the world. In addition, Dallas has DART, or Dallas Area Rapid Transit, with different colored train lines that transport throughout the Metroplex. Dominant sectors of its diverse economy include defense, financial services, information technology, telecommunications, and transportation. Dallas is home to 9 Fortune 500 companies within the city limits, while the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex hosts 22 Fortune 500 companies, the second most in Texas and 4th most in the United States. Over 41 colleges and universities are located within its metropolitan area, which is the most of any metropolitan area in Texas. The city has a population from a myriad of ethnic and religious backgrounds and one of the largest LGBT communities in the U.S. WalletHub named Dallas the 5th most diverse city in the United States in 2018. Now that we've gone over a brief history of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, let's go ahead and visit the attractions, starting with the 6th Floor Museum at Dealey Plaza. The 6th Floor Museum at Dealey Plaza is a museum located on the 6th floor of the Dallas County Administration Building, formerly the Texas School Book Depository in Dallas, Texas, overlooking Dealey Plaza at the intersection of Elm and Houston Streets. The museum examines the life, times, death, and legacy of United States President John F. Kennedy, as well as the life of Lee Harvey Oswald, as well as the various conspiracy theories surrounding the assassination. The Reunion Tower is a 561-foot or 171-meter observation tower in Dallas, Texas, and one of the city's most recognizable landmarks. Located at 300 Reunion Boulevard in the Reunion District of downtown Dallas, the tower is part of the Hyatt Regency Hotel Complex and is the city's 15th tallest building. A freestanding structure until the construction of an addition to the Hyatt Regency Dallas in 1998, the tower was designed by architectural firm Welton, Beckett, and Associates. I highly recommend that you visit the Reunion Tower, particularly during sunset. You can get a great view of downtown Dallas as well as Dallas as a whole. The structure also has a globe that lights up in different colors, which is beautiful to see from far away. I highly recommend you take a balloon ride from a company called Roar Balloons. You can get exquisite views of the DFW Metroplex from above, as well as enjoy a glass of champagne at the end. Now, obviously, these are not all of the attractions that Dallas has to offer. For the sake of time, I chose those that I feel are interesting and worth considering if you only have a brief time to stay in Dallas and the surrounding area. Other attractions that we will mention in the VR tour include the Dallas Museum of Art, the Dallas Arboretum and Botanical Gardens, the Perot Museum of Nature and Science, the Dallas Zoo, Clyde Warren Park, the Dallas World Aquarium, and the Fort Worth Stockyards. Some great events that happen in the DFW Metroplex include the Texas State Fair, which usually begins the last Friday in September and ends 24 days later, and the Fort Worth Livestock Show and Rodeo, which starts around mid-January and ends early February. Now that we've covered some of the attractions in the Dallas area, let's go ahead and get started with our VR tour. Are you ready? Welcome to Dallas, Texas. So we are in the North Texas area, and we're going to examine not just Dallas itself, which is a very large city. We're also going to examine Fort Worth, Texas, which together with Dallas makes up DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth, or the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. There are a series of cities along the way. One of them includes Arlington, and that's in between Fort Worth and Dallas. A drive from Dallas to Fort Worth would take about 40 minutes, but depending on the route you take, it could be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, but on average about 40 minutes. So let's go ahead and zoom in into Dallas first. So we are going to take a look at some of attractions here in Dallas. Let's go ahead and tilt the earth down so we can get situated. We are looking at downtown Dallas at the moment. You can see with all the buildings. And I want to point out one structure that is easily visible, and that's the Reunion Tower. Now, at nighttime, this globe structure lights up into different colors and patterns, and it looks very beautiful. If you were to be on this tower, which we can zoom in a little bit, let's try to get a view. Let's see here. So I'm trying to get a view from the top of this tower. Here we go. So if you were on this tower, this is what you would see. You would see a lot of downtown Dallas. The Reunion Tower is located in downtown Dallas. And we can see a lot of the skyscrapers. It's a very beautiful view, very beautiful skyline. And so it's a great place to visit. And you can see many people are taking photos. One thing that always, surprises me is that how brave people are to take photos. They actually, a lot of them stick their hands out through here and hold their phones. I'm always curious as to how many phones fall down to the hotel. And this is the Hyatt Hotel right here. So I always wonder how many phones fall to and hit the ceiling, or the roof, I should say, of the Hyatt Hotel. Anyway. So there is an observation deck on the top of this tower. You can see around the Dallas area. It's very beautiful. Next, I want to take a look at the one of the museums that's here, a very important museum called the Sixth Floor Museum at Dealey Plaza. And it's in this building right here. I want to point out two important things to you. One, X right here, and another X right here. These are the points at which the President John F. Kennedy was shot and was eventually assassinated from while he was going down in his motorcade down this street here. So those are important areas of interest. You can see many people, once the traffic or the cars go away, many people run into the street and they try to take pictures with the X to show that they've been there and seeing this important area. And the museum is in here, and the museum is quite nice. You can see a lot of things about JFK, and there he is right there. And not just about him, but also his wife. And it's a very nice museum. I have to admit, very clean, very well kept, a lot of things to see, and there are different floors. So it's not just this floor, but there are different floors to visit in the museum. So that is the Sixth Floor Museum. Another thing that I want to show you that's in the downtown area is the Dallas World Aquarium. So the Dallas World Aquarium, let's see if I can locate it around here somewhere. I believe it's this structure. And you can see a lot of this these plants, this shrubbery. Inside, it feels very humid, very moist. There's when you walk around the aquarium, it almost feels like you're in a jungle environment, and you can see many different types of creatures from inside. And this is what I mean by the jungle environment. I think here you can see some flamingos up there, a lot of nice plants. You can see many different types of creatures. And one of the creatures that I think is very interesting that they have in this aquarium is the axolotl. The axolotl is native to Mexico, and it's kind of like a salamander. And they come in different shapes and sizes, but they are very cute looking. So look up axolotl if you're interested to see what it looks like. Axolotl is spelled A-X-O-L-T. Axolotl. Yes, A-X-O-L-O-T-L. Axolotl. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at Clyde Warren Park. It's another destination in downtown downtown Dallas. Now, this park is built over a freeway. You can see here, it's kind of like it goes underground, this freeway, and the park is situated right on top of it. And it's very nice. There are many things to do and see here on this park. It's interesting that they have this type of park, this urban space, where this basically is the freeway. On top of us is the park. So let's see if we can get a view of the park instead of a view of the freeway. Of course, you want to see the park, not the freeway. Let's see here. So here we go. You can see it's a nice green space, urban space. People come to eat and to enjoy and relax. Oh my, we got taken out of view here. Let's try to get back onto where we were. It's similar to Discovery Green in Houston, Texas. I'm not sure if you've been there or heard about it, but it's a place where people get together in a nice urban environment. So yeah, this is Clyde Warren Park. All right, so another destination that I would like to show you is the Dallas Museum of Art. Dallas Museum of Art. Let's try to localize this place. And the Dallas Museum of Art is interesting because it has art that dates back all the way to the 3rd millennium BC and even to the present day. So if you want to take a look at old and new art and artifacts, you would definitely find it here at the Dallas Museum of Art. So they have all types of art and fine art, as you can see here in this area. I think there's different types of art that's suitable for the tastes of many people. As you can see here, there are different types of silverware and cutlery. Really nice and very well kept, very clean. It's almost reminds me of how a museum in Japan would look like because it's just so clean and so well kept. So I would definitely check out this museum if you're interested in art. If not, of course, you don't have to, but it's something that is open for you here in Dallas. Speaking about museums, there's another museum that you may be interested in, which is the Perot Museum. And let's see here. The Perot Museum of Nature and Science. The Perot Museum of Nature and Science is also located here in downtown Dallas. We've already established the aquarium, which is right here, and we're going to look at the Perot Museum of Nature and Science. And it looks very interesting, very modern, and see, we can kind of get an image of, well, this is the inside. If you like dinosaurs, you'll definitely find that here. It's considered like a natural science. So you can see here, I think this is a pterodactyl. I'm not sure what type of dinosaurs these are, but take a look at that T-Rex, a very big T-Rex. I think that's everybody's favorite dinosaur, the most popular dinosaur. Everybody knows about it. But this is a kid's paradise, a paradise for people who love nature and who love science. And then, of course, they have aquatic versions of these dinosaurs, giant sea turtles, and other creatures that have been in the deep. So this is how it looks from the outside. When I talked about it looks interesting, this is what I'm talking about. It almost looks like, it's hard to describe, but it's definitely modern, it's contemporary, and it's kind of like art in and of itself, the architecture of this building. And if you're interested again in Clyde Warren Park, you'll find Clyde Warren Park further down in this direction. Eventually you reach a tunnel. We're kind of going against traffic right here, but eventually you'll reach the tunnel, and that tunnel is underneath the park, which is right here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Dallas Arboretum and Botanical Gardens. This is not located in downtown Dallas, but you can see downtown Dallas at nighttime from this area. I was typing downtown. Dallas Arboretum and Botanical Gardens. So the Dallas Arboretum and Botanical Gardens is a nature space. They have a series of gardens and fountains right here on White Rock Lake. So it is very beautiful, and I highly recommend you come here if you're interested in nature, going for a walk. They do have flowers and many different types of things to see. And I have been here before. It is very nice. You can see that they plant a lot of beautiful flowers. People come and look at all the different types of plants. There's even like a little water area for kids to play. Of course, it's right on the lake, and I personally wouldn't go in the lake, but I have heard of some people going on boats on the lake, and that's something that people can do. But I personally wouldn't go in it. It's just my personal thing. But yeah, this is very beautiful. You kind of get a glimpse of what you see when you walk around, like these lovely people are doing. Let's see what else we can see here. So wouldn't you like to be walking around in trails like these right along a lake? I think it's very beautiful, and look at how well everything is kept. It's pristine, it's magnificent. Very beautiful. Almost reminds me of Bouchard Gardens on Victoria Island in Canada. All right, so this is the Dallas Arboretum and Botanical Garden. Next, we're going to take a look at the Dallas Zoo, which I heard is an incredible zoo. And the Dallas Zoo of course, they have many different types of animals. It's a very large zoo in Dallas. Downtown Dallas is in that area over there, as you can see. And this area is the zoo. So it's just like your typical zoo in a sense that it's organized by different types of creatures, different types of continents. Sometimes when you go to a zoo, they just organize it in different ways, but they kind of have the same general idea. They put the same types of animals together, similar ones, and in the end, all zoos are pretty much similar, but this zoo is pretty exceptional, and I recommend you come to the zoo to go for a stroll, look at the animals, and it's always great. It's refreshing to go to a zoo and to have some nice snacks while you walk around and just look at the animals. All right, so another thing I want to show you, we're going to look at the Fort Worth Stockyards, and for that, we have to go to Fort Worth. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can kind of get situated. But over here is Dallas. Fort Worth is a little bit further out. Let's see here. Okay, it's a little bit too far out. So let's go ahead and do just a search here because I think I'm not seeing the name Fort Worth appear on the map. But here we go. So Dallas is really, really close, actually. So you can see Dallas right here and Fort Worth here. They're very close. And then Arlington in between. Arlington is notable because that's where a lot of the stadiums and ballparks for the major sports teams are located. And so the Dallas Cowboys have their stadium in Arlington, and the Texas Rangers baseball team has their field in Arlington. So Fort Worth, we're going to zoom in here. This is downtown Fort Worth that we're zooming into. You can see it's smaller than Dallas area. Downtown Dallas is bigger, and Dallas is a bigger city than Fort Worth. But we're going to see if we can find the stockyards without having to search for them. So let's see, we can find the stockyards without having to search for them. It can be a little bit difficult, searching for these stockyards. Let's see here. So I think they're over here, actually. Oh, it actually looks like a high school. Let's go ahead and do a search for the stockyards. So we can do Fort Worth stockyards. Here we go. Now, Fort Worth stockyards is great because there are a lot of shops, Texas souvenirs, food, things you can really do. There's rodeos in this area because the Fort Worth Livestock Show takes place in this area here. So this is a great area. There's a lot of cattle in these areas. They have a cattle run that happens twice a day, every day, and it's the world's only cattle run. And so you can find a lot of shops along here. It's let's kind of take a view here of the avenue. This is East Exchange Avenue. And you can see it looks like a western town, right? I mean, Fort Worth is kind of known to be the gateway of the West. So taking a look at this, you can kind of get a glimpse of what Texas really feels like. You can shop for a lot of western things, and they have a lot of western stores, and very nice environment. You can see a lot of things, and the cattle usually run through this avenue right here. Further down in this direction, you can see a show where they have people, you can basically call them cowboys, where they have like a shooting kind of show around this area, and the Stockyard Station. And so this is the area where you can kind of see like a shooting show. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so we've looked at a lot of different things, and this pretty much concludes the tour. We looked at Fort Worth, we looked at Dallas. I know we talked about the balloons. I can't really show you that, although in VR, but at least you got to see it during the beginning of this video. I hope you enjoyed this tour with me. This has been Travel Step by Step. Please like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope you have a great day or a great time wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching.